It's really easy to feel on edge when our civil liberties are up for such a heated debate, but I'm not a politician, and I'm not here to yell at you about my political party. My name is Kristina Filler. I'm an artist. I'm going to tell you a story and ask you to pay attention to how you feel. The story is about a gun violence incident that happened right here in Hoboken, right across from Hoboken High School. There's a memorial that you've probably walked by honoring the victim where it happened at the south edge of Columbus Park on 9th Street. The man who was killed was a beloved history teacher who loved his job, coached the Red Wings girls softball team, coached the mock trial team, and was voted Teacher of the Year. He was shot 3 times by someone who shouldn't have had a gun, in broad daylight, in front of students, and died there, shocking the school, the community, and his family. The teacher, John Sacci, was 47 years old and left behind his wife, Kathy, and 4 young daughters, including myself. I was 14 when my dad was murdered here. Like the students in Parkland, Florida, I made my acquaintance with gun violence at a very early age. Unlike them, I've barely spoken about it, as it is an extremely heart-wrenching and confusing thing to go through in general, let alone as a young teenager. I opened up about it a little this year because it was the 20th anniversary of his death and I wanted to commemorate him. So I collected stories about him from family, friends, colleagues, and students so that his legacy could be easily shared and could continue to inspire. After my project was finished, I felt a sense of peace. But just 2 days later, the massacre happened in Parkland. To ease the sorrow that I felt for them, I painted a picture of a peace dove that's in the shape of a hand, gesturing, stop. The message written over the hand passively requests, hold your fire. The students' public uprising inspired me to get involved, so I put the design on a t-shirt and pointed the funds towards Everytown, an organization that fights the gun lobby. The combination of the shirt and telling my family's story has raised over $7,800 so far in support of gun safety. If you'd like to wear one and help me spread a message of peace, the shirt and our story is available online at hold-your-fire.com, and I have stickers if you want to come find me for one. Through my efforts, I've met a lot of supportive people, but I've also come across others who oppose stronger gun laws. In my art, I analyze emotions to resolve my projects, so I'm going to do that here to help us understand the core of the opposition, to better relate and communicate, and find a solution. The first is passion. I don't like guns, but I love my art supplies. If someone tried to take them away, I'd be lost and I wouldn't know what to do with myself. These objects are not at all the same, but I can understand that something they love is being threatened, and they're scared about that. It makes me want to yell less loudly about taking guns away entirely. It makes me want to find a safe middle ground. The next emotion is skepticism. People who have guns find it hard to part with them. When I first moved in with my husband, he told me that he absolutely didn't want a TV in the bedroom. I told him he was insane and that I didn't think I'd be able to sleep at night. Sound familiar? But he asked nicely and made good points, so I tried it. A decade has passed and I've never missed having a TV in the bedroom. These 2 objects are also not the same, but I find that just because it feels like you have a gun in that you need a gun in the house to sleep soundly at night, like you can't possibly exist without that security blanket, it doesn't mean that you actually can't. Lastly, I want to discuss the sense of safety. I was scared to Google this because I didn't want to find out that homes were safer with guns. We don't want to know the truth if it disagrees with us, but the best we can do to settle an argument like this one over guns is to stop arguing and look at facts. I figured that if so many people are arguing that it's safer, they might be right. But try Googling, does having a gun in the home improve safety? I did, and 9 out of the top 10 Google results all said that they do not, and the 10th article was arguably inconclusive. It's not easy for me to relate to a favorable opinion of guns, given what my family has been through, but I'm trying to understand that I can help with the resolution. Now, if you're in favor of firearms, I'm going to ask you to empathize with something. My dad went to school one day and never came home. We got that call, and in that moment, everything turned sideways. You scream, you cry, you want to do anything possible so that you don't have to think about what horrible pain that incredible person had to endure for no reason. That preventable horror happened right here in Hoboken. America is losing bright young students, hardworking teachers, innocent civilians who can help make this country better but who aren't getting the chance. By letting history repeat itself, we are choosing to weaken our country by sacrificing good people to those who take advantage of our freedom. The scale is getting tipped the wrong way and we need to tip it back. The pain, passion, and need for change that is emanating from Parkland is the stuff that American greatness and American revolutions of the past were made of. What gun control advocates are asking for hasn't been done in our country and on our land, and that scares American gun owners. Data from countries like Scotland, where they have successfully changed gun laws, shows us that this will make America a safer place, not a weaker one. To protect America's heart, we need to preserve our own. Politicians, please keep the safety of your constituents in your heart and unify against the NRA to protect us. Voters, please act with empathy and try to understand each other. Most importantly, please don't ever feel like you are just one person without much of a say. Put your heart into this country and make it more than just your vote. One last thought before I go. A couple of months ago, I attended the school walkout in Washington Square Park with my husband and a friend who is natively from Scotland, where again, they have made gun laws safer. We sat for a few hours, listened to impassioned speeches from students who had been affected by gun violence. They were asking for us adults to protect them. I turned to my Scottish friend and I said, "How do you feel? What do you make of all this?" He paused for a moment and said, "It just doesn't seem like very much to ask." Thank you.